Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy Wolfie here. Doing this one. Welcome to Let's Talk WWE 2K18. I know the game isn't scheduled to be released until the fall of 2017, but I thought, why not just get your predictions out now? Why not just talk about what you want in the game now while it's starting development? Why not just give your thoughts and opinions on certain situations that could arise or happen with WWE 2K18? 2K17 really did fall off on YouTube after the first 2 months of its release. Unless you're doing a universe mode, that game really was just, again, stale. It had nothing going for it. The career mode, my career, it's still not got enough depth into it, and it just seems too long this year. I mean, last year apparently was too repetitive. This year it's way too long. Hopefully in this year's game they find the balance within the middle. Universe mode is a broken gift from God. That game mode is still broken. They've released about 5 patches for 2K17 and nothing has really still fixed universe mode. The game mode is still stale. It's still not got enough depth into it, which I will talk about moving forward in this series. But in this episode, I'm going to be talking about the potential name change of the game. Now, we obviously know that THQ had the SmackDown vs. Raw series up until 2011, and they outspokenly said, look, we're going to change the name now, man. It's not going to be called SmackDown vs. Raw anymore. It's going to be called WWE 12, because we feel like WWE isn't really split in half anymore. Like SmackDown and Raw, they're not really fighting off against each other anymore. There's no rivalry there anymore. They've kind of combined it as one show. So there isn't any need for us to kind of go that route anymore. There's no need for us to call the game SmackDown vs. Raw. We should just call it what it is. It's the company game, and it's the year before. It's going into the year of 2012. Because obviously 2012 was WWE 12, sorry, was released in 2011, as was, you know, every game, as you can see, is released the year or in the year before the game's year. So so basically in 2016 we had WWE 2K17. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, and they just kind of said, look, we're gonna call it the company game WWE 12, and that's what we're moving forward. And then obviously THQ folded, sold the game and the studio to 2K, and then it's been called 2K14, 15, 16, etc, etc. However, now we essentially do really have that SmackDown vs. Raw rivalry back, with the draft split happening. It's kind of, in my mind, it's kind of ignited that flame that we could potentially see a name change. Now, the chances of this happening are very unlikely, but it does make sense now that we've got the whole Raw versus SmackDown back, and we've even got NXT, so they could even do, I mean, bringing GM mode back for this game is absolutely perfect, because we've got Raw now. Because I don't really and truly, I personally feel like they didn't do universe mode because as THQ mentioned, the game was kind of as one. It wasn't Raw or SmackDown. Every Mario truck was just on every show. Like, the same guys you saw on Raw was the same guys you see on SmackDown. But now we essentially have our own individual unique brands with Raw, with SmackDown, and NXT. NXT is essentially its own brand. It's kind of the breeding system for WWE, but essentially it still runs its own brand. It's got tag team titles, women titles, and a major title, so it counts as its own brand. So a GM mode would be absolutely perfect for this game, because, you know, you can manage NXT, you can manage Raw, and you can manage SmackDown the same way they did with WWE 2K 2008. The way they did with SmackDown vs. Raw 2008, when they had ECW, SmackDown, and Raw. It would work. It would bring life to the game, because universe mode has been good. Like, keyword good. It's not been amazing. It's not been the best game mode on the game. It's not reached the level it's supposed to. And something that pisses me off about universe mode is the fact that the game mode has been in this game for 6 years. It's been in the game for 6 years, and it still has not reached that level where it's supposed to be. First year, okay, we'll let it slide. Second year, you start bringing in some different elements within the game mode. Cool, I like that, I appreciate that. Third year, it was a bit, in WWE 12, it was getting there, you know, cool, whatever. Then we had the transition on WWE 2K14 from last gen to next gen, so we had to let them slide with that one. We were like, cool, we won't really let you focus on universe mode, let you focus on actually making that good transition from last gen to next gen. 2K15, they said, not us, they said this will be the turning point for universe mode, and this will be the turning point for 2K wrestling games. 2K16 and 15 were pretty much the same game. I didn't see no change, not even in universe mode, absolutely no change. And 2K17, the only thing they've really added to make it feel brand new and fresh was the promos, and even those are trash. You got guys cutting promos talk about some Jimmy from high school, and you got other guys talk about the Authority. Bitch, the promos are trash. They're absolute goddamn awful. So that is still a failure. Universe mode has essentially been a fail. What they need to do now is stop calling it universe mode. Stop trying to avoid the fact that every single die-hard wrestling game fan wants GM mode back, and just give us the game mode. We're on next gen. You can do it, and it's not like you can't do it. You can do it plus more. You can add so much into GM mode because we're on next gen. There's more room for certain things we couldn't see on last gen when we had 2008. I want to see stuff like show ratings. I want to see contract, not contract expirations, but contract rumors, like you know how we're seeing it right now in the real world. Like, he's got an independent wrestler or a free agent wrestler, and he's about to sign with WWE. Oh, wait a minute, is he going to sign with WWE, or is he going to re-sign with his old independent company? Stuff like that. I want to see. I want to actually see flipping rivalries with cutscenes in it, because I ain't seen one cutscene, and I've been playing universe mode since the release of this game. I've been playing universe mode since the day this game came out, and I have not seen one cutscene in universe mode. Maybe you guys have within your universe mode, but in mine, I've not seen one. And if you're gonna keep cutscenes in the game, at least bring them to me. And no, don't nobody be talking about some, oh, you have to set rivalries. You haven't set rivalry, bitch. I set rivalries and nothing's working. It doesn't. The cutscenes are a fail. Another thing I want to see is, like, how can I say it? So I feel like when we have our unique rosters, it shouldn't be like in the whole menu we were able to just swap superstars in the show. I want them to bring back trades. Trades needs to come back. The draft needs to feel more like a draft. There's so much more. There's so much more they can do, man. There is so much more. I want fan base to come back. Fans changing. Like just things like that. The small things they had in GM mode. Story writers, buying writers to storylines for your show. That all needs to come back, and they need to stop calling it universe mode, because don't nobody care about universe mode anymore. It's been 6 years and you failed. I want GM mode back. I want them to recreate GM mode, revamp it, new layout, and just the small minor things that we see right now in the world of professional wrestling, implement that in GM mode, and the game will sell. Just the fact that we've got GM mode in the game, it will sell. Revamping or doing whatever you're gonna do to career mode to make it better than it was last year, because I'm not gonna say career mode's been awful, but they haven't found that balance yet, because in 2015 it was too easy and too repetitive. No, 2016, sorry, it was too easy and too repetitive, and in 2017 it's been too long. Apparently it takes you way too long to make it to the top of the WWE. So they need to find the balance in between that, and then start to create and mold a longevity and a long, deep, juicy storyline. Because really and truly, in the old my careers, like, I feel like sometimes 2K are doing too much of this, and I hope someone comes across this video, because that would be nice, man. When they go back, yeah, this is what I mean, game developers, I feel like sometimes they just need to sit their ass down, take a break from development, like at least like a week, and just play the old games and just see what worked and see what didn't. In the old my careers, you were really, throughout the whole game, you really were only involved in about maybe I'd say at least 5 to 6 storylines to spread you out across the day after WrestleMania, the night after WrestleMania, to next year WrestleMania. And within those storylines, you'd eventually be in a storyline to win the World Heavyweight Championship, which for me works. It works. The storylines are long. The storylines are delightful. The storylines are intriguing, and they weren't doing too much. They weren't doing too less. They had you captured within the stories. And again, you had a storyline that eventually moved you into the title picture to win the world title, to go to WrestleMania as a champion, or to go to WrestleMania and face off against a champion where you won. And that was kind of your defining moment as a WWE superstar. Obviously now they've gone with a different route. You start off in NXT, which I love. I think it's good. I think it's nice. But again, finding the balance within the game. If they wanted to make it my phone, if they wanted to make it even more interesting, they could do. You even start off in an independent scene and create and let like they don't need to go and get a independent show rights or anything. They just need to come up with their own name. That's the independent show that you worked at, and you start off there. Then you get signed to NXT. Then you move to Monday Night Raw. Then you may or may not get traded, or they can even give you a choice. Now, because obviously we've got the individual brands, they can even give you a choice. These motherfuckers could even say, look, Triple H is going to call you up to the main roster. Which show do you want to be a part of? SmackDown or Raw? That would be interesting. You pick a show. Then, and that could happen maybe before SummerSlam or after SummerSlam, which then means you haven't got long. You've got about, what? SummerSlam happens in summer, end of summer, late summer. Well, with the whole new draft system, I don't know. The way the shows are rolling now, I think SummerSlam's going to be quite earlier on this year. I think SummerSlam is looking maybe, because we've got Payback, then we've got Money in the Bank, and then we've got SummerSlam. So SummerSlam's probably looking to be maybe July, and maybe June-ish, July-ish, around that time. So yeah, anyway, that could be after SummerSlam, and then you ain't got long until WrestleMania, and then you've got those storylines to build your career as a superstar, and then maybe you enter the Royal Rumble, win that. That's the chance. That steps you into the storyline to win the world title. Then you win the title at WrestleMania. Then you have another bunch of storylines where you're the champion and you are a target, and you go through storylines that champions go through to the next WrestleMania. And then, I don't know, personally for me, I do what they used to do in the old career modes and just end the career mode there. Like, get into this Hall of Fame business and blah blah blah. Yeah, it's a nice accomplishment, but it's just the game mode gets boring and stale. So there is a lot they can do with the game this year if they really, really and truly put time and effort into it and not rush it, not just release it just to release it, because they released 2K17 with a whole bunch of glitches and bugs. And I don't appreciate that. If you're going to give us a game, at least give us a game that is completely fixed before it's released. And with that being said, the name change probably is not going to happen, but I like the thought of it. It would bring back some nostalgic memories. It would make me feel, you know, like a kid again playing old SmackDown vs. Raw games, but it's probably not going to happen. It probably will be kept as 2K18. They could even still name it WWE 2K18 SmackDown vs. Raw. They could do that, but they're not going to. It's just going to be called 2K18, but it would be nice. It would be nice. It would bring back a lot of memories. It would capture a lot of fans that have gone off of the new games and used to play the old games. Definitely would. But we'll have to see. But as I said, they need to really, really think about what they're going to do with Universe Mode. If it was me, as I said, I'd change it to GM Mode again and just basically give us what we've been dying for since SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, really. And also, I think they just need to find the balance with Career Mode. Not make it too long, not make it too short. Just make it in between, keeping you intrigued throughout at least 2 or 3 seasons in your career, and then it ends there. Doesn't continue. You don't have to continue anymore. Forget the Hall of Fame business. Just do what they used to do in the old games, man. It worked. It worked then, and I'm pretty sure it worked now. Anyway, leave your comments down below in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Would you mind a potential name change, or would you want them to continue the franchise of just WWE 2K18? Also, let me know if you'd prefer them to just enhance and improve Universe Mode or bring GM Mode back. And also, let me know what you think about this year's Career Mode, because I'm interested, because I haven't played it. I don't want to play it because it just looks long. It really does look long, pause. But yeah, that's just me. I'm out anyway. Take care of yourselves. See you next time. Peace.